What does this rivalry mean to you, James?
It means a lot. If you look back at this rivalry, it's always been weird. It's been really intense. But, you gotta love a good rivalry. And I think us with State has always been a good rivalry, especially just in college football in general. So I'm really excited.
How much did it hurt to lose the last 2 years to these guys? In close games, but
It's definitely tough. They're a good ball club, but when you lose games like that, it really does hurt you. And we definitely remember those games, so we're going to definitely come in with a chip on our shoulder just to make sure we come out with a W this weekend.
I know you're from South Carolina, so what was your outside perception of this rivalry coming in from Myrtle Beach?
Looking into it, I just always knew it was going to be a tough battle between the two teams every time they play, and it's definitely way tougher than what I thought it was, especially, like I said, coming from South Carolina. But at the end of the day, I know it's like a real rivalry regardless of who's playing.
looking at NC State's defense, what stands out to you when looking at these guys? They play kind of a different kind of scheme.
Definitely just their toughness and just I don't know how they mix up their packages, some of their blitzes. It's really some of the blitzes they bring on their defensive side is it's tough to handle, but at the same time it's things that we're able to watch and go over film and practice and during practice for things like that. But it's pretty. They have a good defense, so it should be a fun game Saturday.
You guys have been a little bit of a rough stretch here, losing 3 out of 5. How much does having this game show up right now kind of good for you guys to sort of galvanize, and whatever happened is in the past and this is the sole focus?
Definitely, like you just said, it's in the past, so it's something we can't really dwell on. I know we're all excited and ready to just make sure we go out there and play Saturday to our fullest potential, and we're just ready to go.
And there's obviously a lot of built-in motivation. You have rivalry games. Do you guys draw much from the way the last 2 years ended, those 2 games, or is you just kind of move on from that and it's all about the simple task at hand right now?
Definitely just move on from those games. For some people, we still remember some of the things they did after the games. I know I took it personally. I wasn't a fan of what they did, but at the end of the day, it's in the past. We can't do nothing about it. We just got to look forward to the future and get ready for Saturday.
Well, you're referring to the flag.
Yeah.
Last year. Is there value in you guys kind of using that to get amped up this week?
There's definitely motivation there. It seemed a little bit disrespectful, but it's a rivalry. You know how rivalries get. But at the same time, it's definitely a chip on everybody's shoulder when you see something like that happen.
Do you think that playing in Death Valley last weekend in that crazy environment, that is good preparation? I know it's not ideal to play at Clemson at NC State back-to-back, but do you think it's good preparation for the environment that you're going to see in Raleigh?
Oh, for sure. It's really hard to really beat, 90,000 in Death Valley. But, NC State has a great crowd. I know they're always packed. They're always loud. I remember 2 years ago, that was probably one of the loudest games I've played in since I've been here. So I know we're always excited for the task at hand, and, we'll be able to work with the environment that we have.
Drake, I don't know if you call it struggling, but he didn't have as great a game against Clemson as he's had. Was it a function of just they had more talent, or were they doing something different in the passing game that you saw, you could see at all?
You look at that Clemson defense, they were a really good defense. I know they're coached very well. There's definitely some things that I could have done to help him out way more just so he could get the ball open. I feel like overall as an offense, there was all things that we all could have done for him. Starts with the O-line, with the receivers, with everybody. There was everything that we could have done a little bit more for him. So I wouldn't put it just he had a bad game. It's just, he's the quarterback, so he gets all the blame. But at the same time, Drake's still one of the best quarterbacks in the country, I believe. And even if he does have a so-called bad game, he's better than half the quarterbacks that I can think of.
When you look at Omarion's game, obviously he had the fumbles, but not talking about the fumbles, just talk about from your position, blocking downfield for him when you see him coming. Just what's that like from your end?
It's blocked, but then make sure you get out of the way because he might run through your back. But when you have a guy like Omarion, the things he's done for this program this year and just since he's been here has been tremendous. We always focused and harped on getting the run game a lot better, and he's been a main focal point in making that happen for us. So it's great to have Omarion back there. When you can run the ball, it opens up the passing game. So I'm all for Omarion running the ball as much as he needs to.
Coming into this year, a lot of you guys stated the goal of wanting to get back to Charlotte into the ACC championship. Now that this is the first full week where that is a foregone conclusion, I guess have any of those talks maybe transferred to kind of readjust your focus and your goals into this week and potentially the bowl game?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I know one of our goals is definitely always win the state. So we're definitely making sure that this game Saturday is it's a big game for us. It's always been a big game for us since the beginning of the season. But yeah, I feel like the main focus right now is just our next game, and that's Saturday against state. So we want to make sure we win the state, and then whatever happens after happens. But we're not really focused on that right now.
We'll go back to the flag just for a second. Is there any imagery around the building, maybe with an image of the flag in the soil to, sometimes teams will play it pretty hard, kind of not forgetting something, and maybe photos or something posted, anything like that?
You know, we all see things like that, like on social media and stuff. I know I've been tagged in a few things of just pictures of the flag and just, you know, just things on social media that we'll always see. But I feel like everybody on the team, we all remember that picture. We all remember what happened, so we all have a chip on our shoulder and we're just ready to play.
There's nothing in the building because there's no need for it.
Yeah.
You beat Duke, you win the victory bell. There is no trophy this week. Bragging rights enough for this week.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Just because I know I haven't beat state since I've been here, so it's always been a big goal for me is to make sure I come out with a victory against NC State. I know they hate us as much as we hate them, so we're excited.
Should
think
there
you
be a
should?
trophy?
Is that again?
Would you like to see a trophy? It's a big series, big rivalry.
I mean, the main thing for me is that we have one more point than them on that scoreboard at the end of the game. So,
Just for a little fun, if you guys were to play for something, what do you think would be a cool thing to play for?
I don't know, some kind of trophy. I don't know.
Some kind of like barbecue slab or something like that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the barbecue trophy or something like that. I don't know.
The Golden Cookout
I was
tray.
going to say 2 years ago, you kicked a field goal, you're up by 9. Seems like the game's over. In a way, it seemed like. Was that a period, was that kind of a dangerous period where you almost felt like the game was over, but you knew there was still like 2 minutes on the clock? And that was a classic example of anything can happen
Yeah.
in a football game, right?
Yeah, I
Any
mean,
memories of that?
college football is crazy. You can never count a team out at any point until there's all zeros on the scoreboard. I remember that game very vividly. I knew that the game wasn't over with, but I had a pretty good feeling like we were going to come up with a W. And then, you know, things didn't go our way, one thing after another, and then it was just tough, you know, seeing the fans storm the field and just noticing that we left things out there on the field that we shouldn't have. We should have came out with that W. But, yeah, it was definitely tough.
I don't remember. Were you in the end zone on the last play or not? Were you in the game?
Yes, I was.
Were
And
you in the end zone?
I wasn't. I was on the other side of the field, but it was still pretty tough.
There was a big group of people on that.
How do you think your season's going personally?
I feel like I've definitely progressed since last season. I feel like there's still a lot of things that I need to work on, just so I can help out the team as much as I can. But you know, I'm just trying to help out Drake any way I can. If it's blocking, if it's just helping out the younger guys in the receiving room, or just catching passes from them. I mean, I feel like I've done pretty good, but at the same time, I know there's a lot of things I need to work on to reach my full potential.
Was there an area of emphasis in the offseason that you have fulfilled during this year that you were much better at and consistent at than you were before?
I'd probably say just leadership ability. I feel like, we had Tez and Nate come in as transfers. They have veteran experience, but just out of the guys that have been here before them, it's really just me, Kobe, and Gavin that are the old heads in the room. So just taking on the younger guys and teaching them anything that I can, that was something I really wanted to do. Even though I wasn't even practicing or playing in the summer, I wanted to just let them know that, if you have any questions, just ask me. I just always wanted to help them and stuff. And then probably just being a consistent ball catcher. I know I had a few drops last season that really messed up some of the games, but I definitely wanted to work on my hands during the offseason so I can become a reliable catcher for Drake.
You mentioned Kobe. How's he doing?
Kobe's doing really good. He's progressing very well.
Losing him was like a lot bigger than people realized at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, because when you have a guy like Kobe, Coach Galloway calls him the Swiss Army knife. He can do so many things for us. He can play in the slide, he can play on the outside. So I'm just really excited to see him progress after his injury. But he's definitely a guy on this team that makes a lot of plays. He's one hell of a playmaker.
You guys good with JJ?
Thanks, JJ.
Thanks,